Hey guys, and welcome back to Heartland To Hollywood. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about my first week in LA and some of the interesting stories. And today I am joined with Monique, who is in the back. You hear her throughout. She'll be commenting every now and then. She might be in a future one when I can afford a new microphone. So she might be. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she wants to be back there. That's neither here nor there, but hope you guys enjoy and share it with your friends. Thank you. Enjoy. I believe it was March 1st was the first day I was here after I got everything moved in. On the 28th, I got everything moved in, and I think like my first technical official day out here would have been March 1st. And that's when we started to do things. So the first place we wanted to go to, or that my brother wanted to go to, was the Walk of Fame. And I didn't want to go because I'm going through a whole storm cloud of emotions at this moment. And just like the move itself, I had barely slept after the whole entire drive. And I'm just having a ton of anxiety about the whole situation. And my brother's wanting to be a tourist this entire time, which I'm like, okay, I guess like since he's moving, like since he's only helping me move and he's going to be leaving, like we'll go out and do these things. So we go to the Walk of Fame and I park a mile away from where the stars are because I don't want to pay for parking. And I've noticed that if you don't want to pay for parking by where you want to go, you have to park several blocks away to find the free parking. And finding parking out here sucks 90% of the time. But I end up finding a spot and we're walking up and I see these like security guards that are just sprinkled out throughout everywhere, and it starts to freak me out because I'm like, why do we need security guards? That seems like a bit much. Like what is lurking around here that requires security guards? And I look at my brother and I'm like, I don't want to be here. Can we go back home? Like can we go back to the car? Like I don't want to be here. That's what I said out loud. In my head, I'm having a panic attack and I'm crying and peeing my pants. I don't know. I just thought something bad was going to happen anytime whenever I went outside, which is not the case. So we keep walking and he's like, no, like I'm hungry, and points at the McDonald's that's up the road. This McDonald's looks very ghetto. It doesn't look good. And I'm like, I don't, whatever. And we walk up to the McDonald's and we get inside. And the one thing that threw me off the most being in here was the plexiglass that was set up everywhere. And it wasn't like one little thing for like COVID reasons. It was like duct taped in parts and like boarded up. Like, and I don't know why it threw me off. And it was like, I don't know. It seemed like they had it up for a reason, which I found out what the reason was at 11 o'clock when the floodgates open of just a ton of different people. And there was two people in particular that were the most interesting. And it was this big black bald man who walked in. And at first, for whatever delusional reason, I thought it was my dad, who I have not seen in years. And I like look over so quickly because I hear his voice. The voice is what got me and threw me off. Again, I'm in a state of delusion and panic. I haven't slept. I'm tired. I don't want to be here. For whatever reason, I thought I hear my father I haven't seen in 4 years. And I'm like, we're in a bad place. And so he walks in and is accompanied by this woman with like a red scarf over her head, like a little old Russian lady, and starts talking in like an accent that I haven't heard before, and starts saying like, once you get your food, you're free. Forgive me of my sins. I'm so sorry, Poppy. Forgive me. And I look at my brother with the biggest, most sincere, can we leave? And he was like, we're fine. And that tells me that he also wanted to leave, but he was trying to keep me there. And I was like, no, like, I need you to eat faster so we can go, because I don't know what this is about. And I don't want to stay here and find out. And so he gets done eating. And the lady had come up to me and my brother or she came up to my brother when he went up to get like ketchup packets or something, and was like, "Hey, Poppy," and my brother like looked at me, didn't say anything, and just like ignored her. And then she was trying to talk to me when I went up to go to the bathroom, and I just looked at her and I said, "Absolutely not," before she could even speak, because no. And it just, then I found out later on by telling the people that we live with where we went in that story, and they started to laugh and said, "Yeah, you only go there once and then you never go there again." So if you're ever in the Hollywood area by the stars, don't go to the McDonald's by Panda Express and Netflix. Don't go to it. It's unnecessary. You don't need to go, and it's just not worth it. If you're looking for a good story, I would say go, or an interesting time. But I would bring a taser if I were you. I was defenseless at the time, and that's what made it scary. We leave, and we get my brother's picture with one of the stars, and I'm like, okay, we can go. And I start to speed walk back to the car. And we get in the car, and I text my godbrother, who works at Universal, because we were supposed to meet with him that day. And I was just texting to see if it was a good time for us to go. And he was finally done with the work that he was doing and had some time to kind of show us around the lot and show us where all the movies get made. And so we went there, and we get through all the gates and security, which it's like Fort Knox. Like, you have to have like your ID. You have to tell them who you're there for, what you're there for. They have to then call and verify it, and then they get back to you, and then they give you a slip, and then they let you in. But so we get in, and we meet with my godbrother, and we get on one of the golf carts, and we go around the lot. And it was super cool, and it was super interesting to see all of it. And if you're ever at Universal, take the studio tour, because it gives you the same experience that we got. And it goes through all the different sets and all the different, it's like a city back there, and it's like a town of like empty houses and houses that are like half built but like appear to be fully built and fully constructed. But it's just super interesting and super cool, and I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed watching like what are they called? I don't want to spoil it. Actually, take the studio tour and you'll find out. After all of that, and after the tour and seeing all of that, it made me feel a lot better than the experience I had just 2 hours prior. It made me more comfortable, and it showed me that not all of Hollywood's bad. There's good and bad sides to LA. So we go back home and we go to sleep. We wake up the next day, and my brother's like, "Let's go somewhere else." And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not going to sleep ever at all. And we decide to go on a hike up to Bronson's Caves, which it's kind of like a man-made cave where they filmed, I don't know which Batman movie it was, but it's where they filmed like the Batmobile coming in and out of this cave. Because if you shot it from one side, it looked like they were going in the cave, and if you shot it the other way, it looked like they were coming out. I guess it was like the entire point of this cave, and my brother really wanted to see it. So we go to Bronson's Caves. We never see the cave, but then we somehow end up at the Hollywood sign. So we're like, this is equally as cool, I guess. And so we found out that there's a shortcut. Rather than going all the way to Griffiths and then having to hike that whole path, you can just go to Bronson's Caves and kind of like merge your way into, you'll be in front of, I think Griffiths kind of goes behind, I believe.
I think there's like a forward path and a backward path.
There is? Yeah, because I think it connects with
I think so.
Bronson's Caves. We went up and we saw the Hollywood sign, and it was a good time. And the people that you meet on hikes are surprisingly cheerful, which makes no sense because we're all like sweaty and out of breath, but like everybody's happy to be there. I guess is like how it is. So we leave the hike and we decided to go to Santa Monica and go to the pier, which was really fun. We went to like the promenade that's up there, and I went to this coffee place. I don't know what the name is for the life of me. It's like this coffee place down there, and it's like on a corner. There's an Equinox down there. I know that. I tried to get a job at an Equinox. I did, because I wanted to go just because I feel like the gym would be so nice, but I'm like, I don't want to pay $250 a month. I'd rather just work there and get to use it for free. But they never got back to me. And if they did, Equinox, I know you're watching, call me. So we go to this coffee place, and I had to use the restroom, which is a new thing out here that I've experienced. If you have to like ask for the code for the bathroom, because people like to do illicit things. Isn't that the word? Illicit or unsolicited? Not good things in the bathroom. And so if I'm dressed in like pajama pants and a ripped sweatshirt, they won't let me in. The person I live with calls it urban camouflage. If I go outside in sweatpants and a ripped t-shirt, like, nobody's gonna ask me for money. Which, I mean, it might work. I haven't tried it. And that's the thing. I would dress like that. The shit you would see going to Walmart back in Ohio, there was Facebook pages about it, but nobody stopped them. But you can't do that out here. That's a no-no. Or unless you need to use the restroom. If you don't need to use the restroom, wear what you want. But if you need to use the restroom, look presentable. So anyway, then we go to the pier. And the pier was super interesting. And I almost got ran over by somebody on a Lime scooter. There's all the different like vendors and people playing music and all these things. And then there's a guy. He's just sleeping on the bench. Taking up the entire bench, might I add. Who's just sleeping there. And there's a bird on him. And I don't know why it threw me off that there's just a bird. I thought he was dead. I'm like, Treg, like, is that guy okay? And he's like, yeah, he's probably just sleeping. Then we get done with the pier, and we get back in the car, and we go back home. The next day, my brother's up and at 'em yet again, and we decided we're gonna go on a hike that day. And I think the hike we went on was Solstice Canyon in Malibu. It was a really cool hike. It was super easy if you're ever looking for a good hike. It had a good waterfall, and the waterfall hikes have been nice just because of the rain, because there's water in them when usually there's no water. So yeah, right now is a beautiful time to go on waterfall hikes because of the fact that it's been raining. There's been all the snow from the mountains. There's actual water running through them, and they're just nice. So if you're ever in the Malibu area, I recommend 2 hikes: Escondido Falls and Solstice Canyon. I'm sure there's other ones, but those are the 2 that I have been on so far and have been really good. It was nice to get out, be in nature, all that good stuff. And so we come back, and I'm like, I want to try In-N-Out. I'm in LA. You can't not come to LA and not have In-N-Out. It wasn't good. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't good. The fries weren't good. The burger was very mid. It was okay. I don't know if it was just an off day for them, because I've been back since, and it was pretty good. I don't know. What fries did we get? What? Animal fries?
Yeah, it was on with the sauce, the cheese, and the onion.
Mm-hmm.
Those are called animal.
Get the animal fries. That'll save it. Cause like the animal fries were good and the burger was okay. But that first time it was just really disappointing. And then I don't know if it just made my situation worse, cause I'm just like, I don't know. I was just like having such an awful time, and then my In-N-Out burger was bad. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be here. We get back, and that was the day that we flew my brother home. And it was a sad, emotional time. And I know he's going to watch this. And then I promise you, give it 5 minutes, he's going to give me a call because I'm saying this right now. I enjoyed having him here that first week because it made the week easier. And just having him there to get me out of the house was really nice. Yeah, just having my brother here, it was nice having somebody that was familiar. And then, obviously, he had to go home. He had to leave at some point. And so Friday came, I think it was Friday, that night after we got In-N-Out, we came back to the house, we hung out for a little bit. We put him on the plane and he was gone. And then we came back. And now all sense of anything being familiar was gone. And that's the first day I cried. I went through all of those emotions that night at one time. It all hit me like a brick wall that I stormed into. That's what it felt like. And I cried, and I woke up the next day and I felt the same. And then I felt the same for a few days. And then eventually I was just like, you know what? I can either continue to be sad. I can hit the eject button and go home today. And I even like called my mom. I was like, Mom, like, I don't think I can do this. This is a lot. This city is a lot. And then I called my brother and he told me to shut up and get over it. And he's like, it's going to take time. And it really was right. It was true. And I'm happy I didn't, because I almost did. I almost did within those first 2 weeks. I almost drove right back home. And I'm like, you know what? Can't do this. And I'm happy I didn't. And I'm happy I stuck it out. And I'll go through, like I said, I'll go through those emotions another day, because I feel like that'll help people. Because that's what I was wondering. I was like, is it the same for people that go to college? Was it kind of the same feeling moving away again after college? Like, but I feel like it was easier.
Yeah, the second time it was easier. Like, I got here and like the only thing, I just got freaked out by the noises.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like actually like physically alone. At college, there's like always people walking around campus, so I didn't feel as alone. But
Well, that's what I was wondering, was like, so you guys, who I know a lot of my friends are in school, is it the same? Do you still have those emotions of feeling alone, but is it made easier because of people being around you, being in dorms? Does that help with that? Because the problem I was having was I don't know anybody, and I'm in a city of 3 million people, and I know not a single soul. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed the story. If not the story, if you guys enjoyed what it was like being in LA for a week and moving out here. And let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about. If there's anything that is interesting that maybe I can help explain, like if I've done it. I don't know. If you have any questions, just ask them. And go ahead and follow, like, all the things. I hate when doing that. I hate when they're like, subscribe, hit the post notification bell, comment, share, but do it. I mean that in full seriousness. I'm saying it sarcastically, but do it, please. And thank you. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you in a future one.